Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Have I got an exciting video for you today? If you guys remember the very last video that I did here on my channel, I used a silk screen with Jesmonite AC100 using Jesmonite AC100 as the printing ink. I didn't use acrylic paint, I used Jesmonite AC100. The one thing I forgot to mention in that video is that it has left a very highly raised textured surface. So yeah, I totally forgot to mention that. It is beautiful, making the surface really, really tactile and gorgeous. I really wanted to try again. I wanted to see if I could get a lot more color coming through that silk screen, because as it came through really pale. Now it was beautiful, but we're gonna go again and we're gonna try bigger scale. The colors I'm using are all of these gorgeous neutral kind of boho colors, again very autumnal, but that's okay because it's freezing cold today and some of the trees here still have autumn leaves on, so totally allowed. Now I am using Jesmonite AC100, but it is worth mentioning that I'm pretty confident you could do this with any eco pour. Now the reason this is so important, the reason I really wanted to try this and not just keep using acrylic paint with my silkscreen, is because of the sealing choices. We're really limited on sealing choices when we're using paints. We can really only use wax because the liquid sealers smudge the acrylic paint. But I thought to myself, if we do this with Jesmonite, then we can use any liquid sealer. And I guess I just like them. I prefer them over waxes. But anyway, the first thing we're going to do is mix up our colours. Now, you do have to work semi-fast with Jesmonite AC100. It is a fast curing medium, but you do have the luxury of around 5, 6, maybe even 7 or 8 minutes playtime. Even if it's super thick, you can still get this section done. So again, I'm just mixing up my colours. Now, the colours I'm using are from Homeware Design Co. Homeware Design Co. does incredible colours for eco pours and literally so many choices there. But yes, 4 different colours. The next part is the fun part. Now, there's only 2 rules. Have fun and trust the process on this one. It has been such a long time since I have done splashes and blobs and splodges and dollops and all of the fun. I love this kind of style. Now, you would have seen me do videos before on my channel using like miniature squeezy bottles where you can get really fine details and you can actually draw with your Jesmonite AC100. But I decided just to go with it, use my lollipop stick to splash the Jesmonite on, use the pot to literally like pour thin lines, thick lines. Now, the mess is real. When we're doing this, the mess is real. To get the design coming all the way to the edges of your pieces, sometimes you do have to pour off the sides of your piece. So expect mess. Now, even though I said there's absolutely no rules here, you do see me cleaning up a bit. And I'm not quite sure why, because the end result looks like chaos. It is utter chaos, and that's okay. We have full permission on this kind of thing to be chaotic and to literally throw it down on. Now, I have created a couple of very intentional, specific dots, splodges and lines. I know exactly where they need to go. However, when it came to like using up what I had left, like using up the rest of the Jesmonite, I couldn't care less where it went. Like at this point, I was just filling gaps and just splashing it, splodging it, whacking it on, slapping it on there with no real reasoning behind it. I just trusted the process that this abstract design and abstract pattern would all come together when we use the silk screen, if the silk screen works. But I was just so excited because this is right up my street. If you've been with me a while, you'll know. I'm only going to leave this for around maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, just to get that bottom base cured. I'm not leaving it for the full 30, 40 minutes. At this point, I don't mind sweat marks. I don't care about any of that. So now I'm just mixing up my base And the base is going to be natural Jesmonite, no colour added. No colour added. And I like Jesmonite AC100 when it comes to times like this because it is kind of creamy in colour. It's not white. And I think white wouldn't have worked with this colour scheme. The colour scheme itself definitely called for a nice creamy background. So this has been around 15 to 20 minutes after doing the splodges and the splatters, and now I'm just filling up the tray. The tray mould, I forgot to mention, is the new rectangular, quite deep tray mould from Resin, and they recently sent me this, and you would have seen that in a recent video with the botanicals and the leaves and the epoxy resin, and it was beautiful. But the walls are narrow. So when it comes to eco, I am trying to pour from quite high up so that it definitely gets down into those narrow lipped walls. And it did a great job pouring high up and making sure it was a nice, thin, steady stream. You don't want to shake this. You really don't. What you saw me do there, that little wobble, you just want a little wobble on this. I do not want to dislodge all of that beautiful pattern that is underneath. And this is 30 minutes later and it is time to demold. It is crazy. It is wild. I am getting all of the 1950s, 60s and 70s vibes. It is proper mid-century, giving me all of those colour schemes. It reminds me of our old wallpaper, our old carpet and all of that jazz. Now, I'm going to leave it to fully cure, fully dry, 24 hours on my cake rack, and this is what we're looking like. Again, trust the process. It is honestly chaos at this point. Now, again, if you like this style, you could of course just keep it here, leave it here, but we are going to use a silk screen to hopefully, if it works, fully elevate this and bring it to life. Now, I've already used one silk screen that has been washed and they came out beautifully and they're ready to use again, still sticky. This is the next silk screen in the next pack. It was a pack of 2. So I am laying this silk screen down and I am covering the entire tray. And you can already see here all of those colors coming through those gaps. It's just beautiful. It's so boho, it's so earthy, and yeah, I absolutely love it. I did speed this up because this was around 3 to 4 minutes of me pressing the silk screen in and going around and around and around. I pressed it up the sides as well, all the way up the sides of all of those edges, and there was a couple of wrinkles, so I just spent time getting those wrinkles out to make sure that we could do the best that we could do with what we've got. So now it is time to use Jesmonite AC100 to fill all of the gaps on the silk screen. I still wasn't sure how this would come out because it came out so pale on the last video. I'm going with a dark green. Now, again, I thought about it. I thought about doing black. I thought about maybe bringing it back to a lighter shade, but I really want this to be a wow. I want this to be an impactful, in your face, dramatic silk screen print. And I thought dark was the only way. And I'm not only putting Jesmonite AC100 onto the silk screen, I'm smushing it. Hardcore smushing it with my hand. So I've put a glove on. I figured if I'm going to get the best opportunity for the Jesmonite AC100 to work its way through the silk screen and give me the darkest print possible, then it has to be by hand. It has to be. Of course, you could use a tool. You could use a silicone squeegee. You could use a plastic squeegee. But you know what? Where's the fun? Where's the fun in that? This was so much fun. It was so therapeutic, but it was scary. It was so risky. I really didn't want this to be a complete fail. I didn't want it to leak. I didn't want it to spread in the areas that I didn't want it to spread. I just wanted the best outcome, and I figured that putting a glove on and really working it in to the self-adhesive silk screen would be my best opportunity to get the best results. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I felt like a big kid. And yeah, that was it. I literally massaged. I massaged. Who says that? Did you ever think you'd say that sentence? I massaged Jesmonite AC100. But here we are. We're doing it. We're massaging it. We're rubbing it in every nook and cranny. Every millimetre of this tray got covered. I even brought some of that Jesmonite AC100 up the sides, up the walls. And the whole time I was petrified. My heart was in my mouth because I still don't know, if this is going to make it through, because it really didn't in the last one. It gave us a beautiful effect. Don't get me wrong, I was obsessed with it. But the colour still didn't really come through. And now it's the moment of truth. Gloves are off. We are ready. My immediate thought was, oh my gosh. As soon as I saw the print underneath, I knew I was in love. I was heavily and deeply in love. I was obsessed. If I could marry Jesmonite AC100, I would marry this tray. Are you seeing this? It is simply stunning. It is breathtaking. It is everything I wanted it to be. That crazy, hectic, chaotic splash splodge background lends itself to this absolutely sublime boho abstract finish. And these colours are popping. Granted, I used a dark green. I used the Zen green from Homeware Design Co. I put a lot in, so it came out really dark. And it does look black in some areas, but it is green. I still think black would still work, but there are areas where you can see that it is green, and I don't know why that is. It's so weird. There are just patches of really pale light green on some areas, and I guess that's where I just didn't smush it as hard. But no leakages. None of it has destroyed it or gone anywhere I didn't want it to go. The print has come out about as perfect as you could hope the print would come out. There's maybe one or two areas that but can you see them? I just love it. I absolutely love it. I was fully jumping up and down. I was so excited. I immediately sent a video over to my patrons over on my Patreon page. So thank you so much, guys, for your love as well. You're all obsessed as I am. So yeah, they've already seen this, but I was just so excited. I had to share it with them. As I do most projects I share with my patrons. But guys, what do you think? Like, what do you think? Was it worth it? Was it worth smushing it in? Because this was done with Jesmonite AC100 on AC100, I'm now going to be able to use the liquid sealers. There are a couple of air holes there, which you often get when you do this abstract splashing and splodging. The layers don't quite marry up. They don't quite meld together. But maybe a bit more tapping would get rid of those. But they don't take away from the piece. I love it there. On the left-hand side of the screen, I think that's the only place where it really smudged. But the rest is stunning. That sun-kissed, that burnt orange, ochre orange, kind of like yummy sun-kissed colour from Homeware Design Co. Oh my goodness me. That terracotta is basically a terracotta. Stunning. Absolutely wow. Like, it's so impactful. I'm gonna stop talking because I could talk all night about this, and I absolutely love it. I'm full on. I just want to do this forever. I've said that before in previous videos. Whenever I do this kind of style with Jesmonite, it's usually hand piped or something like that. I want to just do this forever. This is me all over. I could do all day, every day, because everything about this project screams the unknown. You never know what you're going to get. You never know what the results are going to be, but guaranteed they're going to be wow, and they're going to be impactful. So yes, do you need to maybe run and get yourself some silk screens? You might. You might have to, because I love this. I love this more than I love any other Jesmonite work that I do. I hope you feel inspired. I hope you are matching my energy on this one and you love it as much as me. And George is about to bark. It's okay, George. Ah, there he goes. Sorry, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.